So let me tell you a little bit about my mother. I love my mother. Of course I love my mother. That doesn't mean that she's anything extraordinary. I mean, it's turning out she is pretty extraordinary, but not really for being what you would call a model mother. And this is really interesting because she doesn't want me to talk to my aunt. And my aunt was here when she did this little thing. This is a bit of an intro to what it is I'm getting ready to speak to you about further. Her and my Aunt Tony came to visit me at Hemingway's to have lunch or dinner. Maybe it was dinner, maybe it was lunch. Anyways, they came in and, came in on my shift, so of course I waited on them. And, as it turns out, I'm probably... Yeah, we could all fight about it, but I was a producer. I'm really good at it. I'm really good at taking care of people. Very, very good at it, actually. Extremely good at it. Because that's how I was raised or something? I don't know. Sorry it's so loud. But let's get this. So after I wait on them and I'm waiting on the tables and everything else, my mother pulls me aside when they're leaving. Remember, this is when she's with my Aunt Tony. The aunt that I can't speak with that made these accusations that I confessed to her that I had molested my sister. That Aunt Tony. Yeah. So this is Hemingway's in Alabama, Orange Beach, Alabama. And after I wait on them, I'm walking them out, as I do with actually a lot of my customers. I would walk them out. She says to me, she says, "Hey," she says, "I just want you to know that I wanted to give you a tip." And her tip was, if you smile when you tell someone something, you can tell them anything you want. And as long as you're smiling, they'll acknowledge what you're saying. Yeah. I love my mother. I mean, I didn't love her as much back then, actually, as I do now. Because she needs it. Now she needs it. But I love my mother. I mean, she was there with my aunt. I was going to represent. And I just looked at her and I said, yeah, I'm pretty good at what I do. And just strange, Why would my mother tell me something like that? That, basically, it's okay to lie between your teeth as long as you're smiling. That's my mother. And so that's just a bit of an intro, when I say intro, because it's actually directly related to what the fuck is going on here. But let me tell you a real story. Not just some passing, came through for lunch bullshit fucking session where she, as she's always been, didn't really realize it until recently, is manipulating my life no matter what. So what had happened is I'm about 10 or 11 years old, and me and my dad was having a fucking really fucking bad, it was probably a whole fucking week, to be honest with you, because that's how things lasted. They weren't for a day, they weren't for an hour, they weren't for an afternoon, they were long periods of time of chaos and not knowing what the fuck was going to happen next. And I went to my mom and I was crying to her. And I said, fuck. I didn't say fuck. I was just a kid. I was probably thinking it. It's a great word. Very great word. Excellent. I was just really having a fucking tough time. And I was like, I approached my mom and I says, gosh, I just wish I had an older brother or sister, someone that can guide me to help me understand what it is I'm doing wrong with this man, my father. Yeah, I love him too. Although I guarantee you, I should have punched him in the face when I had a chance a long time ago. And he can be assured that he's going to get punched in the face the next time I see him. When I say that, I don't mean any grave threat. But between a father and a son, don't get between that. You fucking idiots. You fucking dumb. Ugh. He fucking has earned it. Guaranteed. But let's go back to the story. So I'm crying to my mom. I'm about 10 or 11. And I'm like, I just wish I knew what to do. I don't know what the fuck to do, man. I do everything. I mean, I was already 11. I knew how to do a bunch of shit. And of course, the goalposts were being changed as usual, which is something that's very apparent now when you look at these two in this whole situation. A consistent manipulation. So I go to her and I'm crying and I'm like, I don't know, man, what am I supposed to do? Like, how do I figure this out? I wish I had an older brother and sister. And she calms me down and she says, Jason, I'm really sorry to tell you this. Remember, I'm like 11 years old. She says, I'm really sorry to tell you this, but you know, your father made me have an abortion. And so you would have an older brother or sister here to be able to help you. But, you know, your dad forced me to have an abortion, so you don't have an older brother or sister because it's your dad's fault. I think every time I took a shower, back then I took a shower every day. It's a joke on being homeless. You know, I took a shower every day back then. I remember each time getting in the shower and just crying and crying and crying until the tears were gone and get back out of the shower and just like, God, you know, I really thought I wanted to take my dad out, man. The whole idea of all of that. The thing is, I didn't realize it at the time because me and my mom were like best friends back then. When I say best friends, that's what I thought. What I didn't realize is she was using me as a tool against my father the whole time. It's very apparent now when I think back and think about what her intentions were by telling me that. What were her intentions? But knowing all the other things that were going on, well, it all fits. I mean, she just wanted me to hate my dad. She just wanted to use me to split us apart no matter what. But I just needed to share a little bit about this woman who, at this point, I compare her to that woman who, there's a woman who took her two sons out on a boat, pontoon boat. One of her sons was in a wheelchair. And she had already planned this out, this woman, this mother, lovely mother. It's a little bit of sarcasm. She had already planned it out. She rolls the son that's in the wheelchair down, off the pontoon boat while her and the other son watch him drown. And they collect the money and then, you know, because as is the case here too, you know, they can't help themselves. My mother can't help herself. They're going to talk about it and get caught. So the deal is that that's exactly what she did, this mother. She rolled her disabled son, sacrificed him to the ocean for the insurance money. My mother's a sociopath right along that range. And when you say she's not, then you can simply say, well, you know, she did you wrong, her son. That's not such a big deal. The big deal is all the people she lied to wrong me. It's not about me. I'm already used to all this. It's not a big deal. You know? At 50 fucking years old, if somebody fucking kicks me in the face and fucking spits on me, it's no different than when I was 6. this is unfortunately how my life has been, but at the same time, I'm a pretty good fucking human being considering. Because my thoughts are always with others, and for their best, and for their safety, and concerns for them. That's another thing that my mother couldn't stand, is that I took the energy she was sharing with me because I thought that it was noble, and I shared that energy with others, and my mother couldn't stand that. To be quite honest with you, there's virtually no difference than an intimate relationship that my mother was sharing with me at a certain point for a very long period of time. Like an inappropriate one, if you guys ain't fucking figuring it the fuck out by now. It's unfortunate that these, whoever they are, don't know how to vet their sources, but I know their sources. So I'm going to vet them for you and for others to understand how these idiots fail with their impotent and fucked off ideas on how they do what they do. But I just wanted you to know a bit about my mother. I love her. Only because I have to. And when I say that, it's still from the heart. It's still from the heart.